Welcome to the Dimp Digital Podcast. We're on episode number 59, and this time you got myself, Apps, Logan and Hall. Gents, how you doing?
Hello.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm good, cheers, mate.
I've noticed every time I ask people how they're doing, it's just hello now. It's not even, yeah, I'm alright, it's just hello.
I don't understand. It's a relatively simple question that you're throwing out there.
Yeah, it's...
really struggling.
I don't understand it. What is being asked to me? Hello?
Yeah, that's all I get. Is people just go, oh, and make a noise now. It's like, well, at least let us know you're doing alright.
Just that, you know, we're here still.
Yeah, well, we are here, and there's only one place to start, really, because, as predicted, GDC took place Tuesday the 15th of March. PlayStation rock up. They don't do a live stream. I was expecting to be able to watch that, but no, that was not on there, which was a bit strange. They're normally all over this sort of bollocks. Anything they'll stream anything. They didn't fancy doing this one. Anyway,
Spencer taking a poo and he's there streaming it.
I'll be surprised that doesn't appear on Twitch at some point, and that'll be like its own channel. But that'll be after he's sacked. But PlayStation VR has finally been revealed in its finest form. We all know the details now. We was kind of speculating 2-3 weeks ago about when, how, and what, and they've dropped it on us. So here's the rundown. PlayStation VR, £349. Not even £349.99. £349 solid. Why not just do 348 if you're going to do that? And then it looks a little bit better, doesn't it? 348.99. That is an odd price. Releases.
Some people are doing it for 349.97. So they've bunged 97p on the end. Where's that come from?
Who's done that?
GameStop.
I thought they'd gone cheaper. I thought they'd gone like £1 cheaper or something ridiculous.
I thought it was 349.97.
Well, we'll get confirmation of that during this podcast. It's changing all the time, but their RRP is 349. Most places are going to be selling it at that price, so that's what we can expect. Releases in October. Couldn't give us a date. Don't know why that was a major issue for Sony to just go, yeah, it's just going to be out on the 30th. No, it's just going to be out sometime in October, which is a bit of a blower, but you know, I guess
that'll do. October, they say.
349.97 confirmed.
Yeah, I don't know why they've done that then. Maybe it's not 349 on the dot then. I have to check Amazon. It is.
Yeah, 349.
So GameStop pride themselves on just unsnipping people, like the UK version of the shop. They pride themselves on doing that, and yet they decide, oh, no, what we'll do, we'll make an extra 97p off this.
Yeah.
And they import everything from Ireland, I've noticed. Yeah, I've just gone on Amazon, it's 349.99, so maybe it was that. These fucking useless internet blogs, they can't even get it right. Just put 349, nothing else, no decimal. Pricks, it's 350 quid.
PlayStation VR is coming in October, 349.99 RRP. That is PlayStation UK official tweet.
Right, that's fine then. Those useless dickheads. Anyway, 349.99, released in October. Doesn't come with the PlayStation camera. That's required as well. So
£40, isn't it?
£40, which you can buy now, and I don't know if they'll crank up the price by 10 or whatever. I'd be surprised if they did, but I've got one. Not for this, but I was struggling for a present for my mum to buy me, and I was like, PlayStation camera.
I thought you were I was struggling for a present for my mum, so I bought her a PlayStation camera and then just nicked it.
Yeah, and just took it off, but no, it's for her to buy for me, so I was like, well...
anything will do.
Yeah, anything will do. So £40 worth. I was like, I'll get that. And it's actually, I mean, it is next to useless, but the only good thing was Until Dawn with that whole scare cam that used to record me.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. But apart from that, next to useless. So really, it's not £349.99, is it? It's, you know, you've got to bung £40 on that.
Yeah.
To actually
I don't understand what the camera's doing. What's the camera doing?
It's tracking.
Required for head tracking, apparently.
Yeah.
Huh? Ain't got a gyroscope in it that's doing that.
Required for head tracking. I don't know how it's going to head track you, because surely, yeah, like you say, there'd be some kind of gyro inside it that will give you the idea of balance rather than... I don't get it personally, but...
They've just got a load of them sitting in stock, haven't they, going, fucking hell.
Yeah, what can we do here?
What can we do
here?
Cut
out that functionality. Just hide the gyro and then make it so that it only works when people plug one of our shit cameras in. Job done.
Weird, but it's needed. I don't know. It's needed. It's needed. It's not an optional. You need that.
No, they did say
even like when you go into pre-order on Amazon, it's like you need to buy this as well, or else it won't work. It's like, why don't they just bundle it in and just say, look, it's more expensive?
The bundle is coming. In North America, it's been confirmed. It's just not been confirmed for Europe.
It will come essentially, but
it's only a matter of time.
I suppose for someone like me, that's okay because I could just buy the headset if I wanted, and I ain't got to bundle it and get rid of the spare camera. So I do understand why they've done it. Maybe they think a lot of people have got a PlayStation.
now that I've instantly kiboshed it and I've thought about it, I actually retract my initial statement and say, good decision.
The people that have already got a camera do not need that, so good decision, Sony. I'll go and shake your hand when I see you. Optional Move controllers can be added, but they're not needed. You can apparently use that PlayStation 4 controller, but by all accounts, you're going to want those sticks because, for aiming and shooting, you're going to want to have that feeling of moving your hands, aren't you? That's what that's going to track. Just using the controller's not going to cut it, depending on what sort of game it is. Their claim to fame, this is it, more than 50 games by the end of the year, including exclusive Star Wars Battlefront VR experience, or whatever you want to call it. Now, out of those 50, how many of those are going to be proper games?
3 or 4.
Well, that is more than what I was expecting. I don't think many of them will be at all. They're going to be...
I think they'll... No, I'm not talking like AAA titles. I'm talking like...
Playable
titles that I would a playable game that's not, like as we were saying it earlier on, is not a walking around simulator or a looking around simulator or a dodge obstacles.
They'll be like, do you want to jump out of the Apollo? And it's like, well, is that
something
a game?
Something that's interactive, that's actually got a bit of gameplay to it. Maybe 3 or 4.
Maybe
out of 50.
By the end of the year, that's what they're saying. They reckon there's over 200 developers working on this as well. And I was like, Christ, don't... Are they, though? Are they just...
I'm intrigued as to how much the games are going to cost still.
Yeah, that's
as well. Are they just going to be PS4 price?
Well,
or are they going to sting you and go, well...
You'll get the Playroom free, and if that's anything to go by, that's a pile of shit, so they'll bump it up on day one.
Yeah.
It really
is. A real kick in the teeth.
So going back to the details we've just revealed there, Mr. Logan... Yeah. That's about on par with what you was expecting. I think we were all kind of around that mark of £350 odd. Is that the right decision?
Yes. I
think they're going to buy one.
No, we've been through this.
That's going to be the end question.
Not day one. I'm absolutely not going to buy one day one.
Day 2?
I don't think... no.
How many fucking days do you need to think about this? You've got 7 months between now and then, or whatever it is. You can think about it then.
If there is a valid game for me to play that I go, right, that is actually adding 350 quid's worth of value to it.
Well, what game's doing that?
I hate to break it to you, but there's no game.
Well, there you go. They're justified. No, I mean, if I feel like I'm getting value for money out of it over a long period of time, and that I feel like I can see it going somewhere, I think I've said before, it's easy to go, this is the next way gaming's going. We said this, mate. We've been here before, so forgive me for being pessimistic.
Have we been here before?
Yeah. And I just want to see what is actually there first before I go, yep, give me one of them. There'll be people queuing up going, yep, thank you very much. They will have no shortage of takers for it. But for me, I'm not a day one buyer of anything anyway, really. I would like to...
New games,
I suppose.
Games, I think I would, but not tech, as it's not first gen tech.
Hardware.
No, because I just don't know where it's going, and especially something like this where I think, right, I'm not quite sure.
It's quite a hefty investment as well, and it's not like, it's not like it's 100 quid, like 300. It's a new console, essentially, price wise.
Yeah, it's not cheap, is it? It's not what I want. It's
not
the
by any
cheapest
stretch of the imagination. Yeah, it's definitely it's by far it's the cheapest one of the 3, but it's also the one that we've seen the least of. I think it's fair to say.
And probably I'll trust them the least as well.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was saying that the Vive it plays well, it works well. It seems to be getting slightly better reviews than the Oculus. And then the PlayStation 1, like, we don't really know a lot about it.
I think it'll work fine, that's the thing. It will work fine, it'll track all your movements fine. I'm just worried about that little white box I've got sitting there, struggling to cope with playing a decent game on it. Like, look, they won't look as good as the PC games, as they don't anyway. But will the gap between a PlayStation 4 VR game and say an Oculus or an HTC Vive PC game be even greater than what we have in normal console gaming? Because those things can gear up and they can upgrade and they can make them steam ahead and they can develop, at a much higher rate. That thing is stuck for the next 3 to 5 years. They ain't moving.
Yeah.
And already it can't be doing 60 frames 1080p, just normal. What is it going to give me in VR when it's got a dual screen it's got a dual stream the 2 iBits, do all your head tracking, all the other bollocks. You've got to worry about what's actually going to come out for that bag of shit. I'm slagging it off, but I love it.
But is the console driving that, or is it the actual headset?
Console, well, the game needs to be able to run on the console, it needs to be able to distribute it to the headset. So, by having a PC, you're at an advantage immediately.
I think as we saw, though, when we did it at Res, I think we saw that it doesn't actually have to be graphically perfect or impressive for it to be a good experience. And I think that's the one thing it does have an advantage of, is that they don't have to be AAA title type games for them to be a good VR experience. We know that because your brain accepts it, that reality is real.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's got to be immersive rather than necessarily completely 100% believable.
So you'd be happy with... Not happy, so you're saying that a game could be aesthetically not grounded in realism, and yet you could still be immersed into that world, is what I just want to make sure.
I think that's where they're going to go with it.
They're going to have to.
And I don't think they're going to be like...
You ain't getting Uncharted on that.
Well, that's what Paper thinks. He was hoping for No Man's Sky VR.
No,
absolute zero chance.
There'll be a No Man's Sky experience, and you have to go on one planet and fly through one little bit for 10 minutes. It'll be that. They have to cut it all down. There's no way. I mean,
they're going to get a whole game in that. Yeah, it's too much to program.
No, not at that level. Not at that level, anyway. But so Mr. Hallman, you're pretty much checked out of the whole VR thing, because that laptop of yours ain't going to be standing up to the task. No PlayStation 4. Do you think, as a Microsoft boy, do you think Microsoft are perhaps missing a trick by not just jumping on this and just trying to get bunging something out for all their fans that might go, I want a bit of that?
I think in terms of sales, they probably are, purely because there will be people that will, as Logan said, there will be people that will buy this PlayStation VR. It's certainly going to be interesting. And the thing is, like, say, for example, if one of you bought it and said it's fucking amazing, then, I'd be gutted that I don't have the PS4 to then go out and get one. Or if I were to buy it, but then the thing is, then you've got the initial outlay of the PS4 as well as that. And, I'd be toying with the idea of looking at, like, a Vive or an Oculus instead. But anyway, I think Microsoft have missed a trick in terms of their sales side of things. It's so hard to judge with VR.
These things aren't cheap to make, though. That's the thing. Maybe they've looked and thought,
no, absolutely.
That is a massive risk while spending all the time deving it, all the time researching it, all the time distributing it, and then for it just to die out.
That's what I mean. Like, the thing is, this is the next step. This is new to gaming. This is new to people. Full stop. Yeah, exactly. We haven't got much. Like, although there is virtual reality, like kits or zones or whatever you want to call it. It's not an everyday thing, and that is what it's becoming because these kits are coming out. It's going to be a huge hit or miss. It's either going to work spectacularly and people are jizzing their pants over it, or it's going to be a fad and it's going to disappear within the next 3 to 5 years. And if it is one of these things that sticks around, then Microsoft, being a year and a half, 2 years behind, is going to be of a massive detriment to them. Absolutely massive.
Got the $2,000 HoloLens though.
Yeah, well, who's fucking spending $2,000 on that though? Like,
no one. That is
no one. Literally zero people are buying that for that price. So
that's not getting lifted. Let's just check in on the other. So just as a reminder for those that may have missed it or been living under a rock, Oculus Rift £499 plus shipping. That's £40. So don't forget that. That's just like what they've done with the PlayStation camera, isn't it? Add shipping, and you've got to pay more. You're obviously going to need a high-end PC for the Oculus Rift. So that's $499 plus shipping. HTC Vive $689 plus shipping, which I think I'd done earlier, and it's about 50 odd quid. I was like, Christ, that goes into the sevens.
Yeah.
To be getting that, and you're going to need a high-end PC for that particular one. Seem like there's very distinct price points. You kind of got the PlayStation VR, which may be aimed at perhaps a more casual audience and an audience that doesn't want to pipe up and spend a load. Oculus seems like the good all-rounder.
Yeah.
Like we say mid-price, you could still buy a car for that. So just remember that when you're pressing checkout, just remember there's a vehicle you could buy to transport you around the country for that sort of money. It won't run for long, but
do it virtually though.
Do it virtually. You're not going to harm the environment either. And then you got the HTC Vive, which is top end. That's going to be the luxury item of the two. And but
you're going to expect a lot from it for that price, you know.
Well, this is the thing.
If that is released and it's not got the quality to back up the price point, then...
So what do we think decides the quality? Is it the software that's released on it, or is it how it works? Because the PlayStation VR, when I tried it, was fine. I don't see how you can get it to work badly. It's going to be what you're playing, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think a lot of it is about what you play. Don't get me wrong, like I say, I haven't used any of them.
No.
So... it'd be interesting if there is, the next time there's an event or something, I'm going to try and go along and get a bit of time on all three.
Ray's just got a load on, so get there. Around the corner.
And do like do a kind of comparison between them. But, you know, it's difficult to say until you get your hands on them, isn't it? And we're still speculating about the games that are going to be coming out for them. You don't know. All three could be a massive flop. All three could be a massive hit. I hope they're a hit because I think it's going to be quite fun to have that next level of gaming. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm not going to be sold on it until I physically try it out and see it working.
No, Logan, you've mentioned you've tried it, so you know it works. You know it can immerse you, even if you're in a little bloody cartoon world, messing around in a goddamn what was it, jetpack, wasn't it? That's obviously not enough to tempt you. What type of game would you like to see? What do you want? What are you going to look around and go, actually, now that could be worth it? Is it going to be, there's going to have to be 5 or 6 titles, or could it be one title? Do you want first-person stuff? Do you want third-person VR where you can look around the world? What do you want? What's going to do it for you in your brain at the moment? You think, Christ, that could really tip me in. Football
in all honesty, yeah,
you could be at the game. You could be on the
sidelines.
dugout watching your team play.
I don't want to watch that. Most of the time, it's fucking shit.
Well,
that would be quite fun.
Yeah, for about 5 minutes. This is another problem. How long does that run before it wears off? That's another discussion. But is there anything in your brain that you can think of where you think, actually, I can see that working really well, and I'll be well up for that? Racing.
I don't know. No, not racing. Look, in racing games, I'm looking at the road. I'm not looking at the fucking stuff. I don't be doing that.
It's not like looking. It's that feeling like you're in the car, isn't it? Like
I'm doing that a lot every day. I need to spend.
I hope you're not racing.
Comparing his commute to storming around Silverstone.
No, but in all honesty, I don't want to be going, right, I feel like I'm in a car. I've got a car outside.
I get what you mean.
I know what it's quite like to be in a car.
It's not a nice environment, is it? It's a claustrophobic environment in your car.
Well, my car's fucking dull anyway inside.
Well, you could jump in a bloody Ferrari and bomb round.
It's not. Nah, right. So
why would you play any racing game if you don't like that?
No, I do like racing, but I like the feeling. Right, we're getting off topic.
Well, the logic is failing. That's why this is what happens.
The logic isn't. So I don't. Right. I like to feel like I'm racing.
A lot of writing going on.
Yeah. I like to feel like I'm racing. That is enough. So the problem I've got with a racing game is that I'm trying to immerse myself in it, but I haven't got a steering wheel. So what I'm doing is I'm looking around going, I'm in it, but I'm still pressing left and right on a fucking analog stick.
£300 to get you a Thrustmaster, and then you're definitely locked in.
Right, £650 later, I'm going, right.
Yeah.
I can buy a car for this.
Yeah. Go and do a track day and actually have a race.
Yeah.
The option's there.
Yeah, it is. And I do get that, and it is a matter of outlay, but I actually just quite like playing my racing games how I do at the minute. And I don't even go first person. I'm behind the car. That's how I race. And I enjoy that. So that's what I mean. It wouldn't add anything on a racing game for me anyway. The way I see it is, I don't know, like some kind of atmospheric game. So
you're bloody frightened of everything.
No. What I mean by atmospheric is I'm like, what's that game?
Outlast.
No. With the fuck that.
That is atmospheric. With VR.
Dinosaurs.
Ark.
Survival. Ark.
Yeah.
Something like that, I think, would be quite cool in VR.
Well, I've seen
so like a first-person style.
Yeah. So it's got to be a first-person game, or you've got to be in first person. But this is my problem with it: is that the only way that I can think about it is that I've still got a controller, but my freedom to look around is with my head. But I still move myself, so effectively my left hand is redundant, as it is in most ways.
Get a gaming treadmill for $1,000, stick that on, and you can walk around.
Well, this
becomes
£1,600 later.
See, this
finally
is
walk around in Ark.
This is why I have my doubts about VR, because it's got its limitations on what you can play, and most of the stuff I play is first-person shooters, and I think the only thing that's adding to something like that is where I look, but that's also governed by where I'm aiming with my weapon. So again, I don't see it adding anything to that.
What about there's
a third-person shooter? It's not adding anything to. So
what about there's rumours going around that it's going to have functionality to watch films, so it almost appears as though you're like in a 200-inch screen because you'll be sucked into that world. Perhaps you could play your games on a big screen in front of you, that little 50-inch or whatever you've got. No, it's not 50, is it? What? 26. What are you? 24. So you could pop your headset on and it'll look 10 times bigger.
I've got 46 in the lounge. Are we talking?
We're talking. This is like cinema level style.
Right.
That they could do. They could stream the game to it.
Yeah. No. I just
replace your telly. You wouldn't need the telly in that rate. You just put your headset on and play the game through your VR set.
But a lot of the time when I'm on telly, I like to be doing something else as well. So I'll be like, fucking hell, I can only do this telly now. No. I can't have the TV on the background and do my phone or be on Football Manager, or I can do one thing, and that is watch whatever I'm watching. That is it. And then you go, right, I'm going to get up and make a cup of tea. Bloody hell.
That is.
How am I listening to it?
Yeah, you are cut off, which is unfortunate.
So I've got to have headphones on. I can't hear anyone at the fucking door.
Yeah. Well, we've got all the information we need on all three. It'll be...
I don't mean to be slagging it off, because I think it is good, but I think it's very limited. And I think, right, for what I am playing, is that adding anything for me that is worth the outlay? And for me, the answer's no. And I think that's where the problem is with it, and that's where Kinect went wrong, is that you can only do so much with it.
Fucking crap.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
That was just the Wii motion controls reskinned into a crap camera. That's what that was. That was copying. This is new.
Well, I don't think it's as new as everyone's making out.
Where have you seen this rocking around?
Well, no. So I've had it on my phone probably for years, really.
What?
You've been able to control games with a gyroscope in your phone for years.
Well, not quite.
So you're just doing that, but it's on your head. No, it is. When you boil the basic technology down, it's exactly the same. All they're doing is putting a screen on front of your head.
It ain't using the gyroscopes. It needs a PlayStation camera looking at you.
That's what I don't understand either. So how good's that going to be then?
Well,
there's a delay from the camera that I just don't... Right, I've got my doubts. And is it worth the money? I don't know yet.
It definitely isn't old tech.
You don't like stuff like... I'm intrigued to see how many people get...
Don't you be telling me what I like and what I don't.
Well, no, what I was going to say was I'm intrigued to see how many people get like motion sickness from it.
Well, yeah, that is a concern.
I felt a bit ill when I did that Jack.
Yeah, because I remember going to an arcade with James where there was we were playing some fighter pilot game, and the screen was like...
on your nose.
It was like the inside of a sphere.
Yeah.
So it's all around you. And James went in and played it for about 30 seconds and was like, oh, I feel sick. And had to get out.
How many beers has he had?
Probably 5 or 6, maybe.
Right, well, there you go. I mean,
I was straight in and I was loving it. Like, I was absolutely loving it because the chair was all moving around and all sorts. And James was absolutely fucking hating it.
Yeah, poor little bastard.
So, I'm intrigued as to if that happens with it as well.
Everyone seems sceptical. And it's one of those things where it's going to be difficult to sell unless you sit down and try it yourself.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be a fool, but you'd be a brave person to just plonk down whatever amount on one of these without at least trying it, because like you said, motion sickness is a factor. Dave Salmon, he's been on the podcast, he's suffered with it on a couple of occasions, so there's concerns from him, and he's well into VR. He's well up for it. Another man that's really up for it is Mark Smith Biff. I knew this because he was, his whole 2016's built around PlayStation VR. I just wanted to get him to make a little statement because he was too scared to join and actually talk today. He was probably busy working or whatever.
Scared. He's off at the minute, so that's a lie.
Yeah, didn't want to come in front of the forum.
No, he knew he'd get grilled. But I'm reading. He WhatsApped this, and I'm reading it, and we all know how poor he is at spelling.
I can't wait for this. Trying to decipher what he's actually meant.
Take me back 15 years.
Yeah, I apologise in advance for how this comes out, or it's difficult. That's all I'm going to say. So there we go. It's all spelt wrong, so I'm going to have to translate something. I'm definitely getting one on release. Annoyed that it doesn't come as a package with Move controls and camera, as you're paying high in prices. It's as much as a console after all. But this hasn't really fazed me. I was so blown away by my demo I played at EGX. It's really planted a seed in my head, and I think it'll be the future of gaming, and everything will lead down this road. Very excited about the inclusion of Star Wars. He's put Drake's on here, which means Uncharted, but I've not seen any official. That ain't happening. Not how he thinks. It'll be Temple Run. Hopefully, will be more titles to follow, and interested in film viewing. Don't if that will be a flash in the pan, but game.
Don't know. I'm guessing he means that.
Yeah, but will be interesting to see. Can't argue with that. The seed has been planted, and I think that's what they're hoping at these events, that you have a little go of it, and then go, good fuck.
Well, I hope that... You remember how when you were younger, you used to go into, like, Electronics Boutique, as it was at the time, and they'd have a console set up with 2 controllers, and there used to be, like, kids waiting around to use them.
Queuing to play.
Yeah, it used to be kids queuing to play games and stuff, and, like, I was one of them. Yeah. And now I go in and I look, and there's no one on there. Like, the controllers have got dust on, because no one fucking bothers anymore. No. I hope they have them for VR. I hope they have the PlayStation VR set up in shops, so people can just have a go at it.
You'll have to have someone on there, though, cleaning that thing down. That'll get all sweaty heads on it. There'll be someone there to mop that all down, clean everything.
That is the only way that, like you say, that will sell. Like, Biff there has gone, I love it because I've had a go at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. Until it's tried out, you ain't going to buy it. No. Simples.
Amen. So, potentially something else new. We talked about this many weeks ago. Could cross-console multiplayer finally happen? And this has all been stoked up because ID at Xbox boss, which is like their indie division, Chris Carler, went and said, in addition to natively supporting cross-platform play between Xbox One and Windows 10 games that use Xbox Live, so that's in brackets, we're enabling developers to support cross-network play as well. This means that on Xbox One and Windows 10 using Xbox Live, you'll be able to play with players on different online multiplayer networks, including other consoles and PC networks. So there's only one other console they're going to be connected to, and that's the PlayStation 4. But no Nintendo games are shared anymore, not even third-party stuff. So that's what Xbox has said. So the immediate response was, this might happen, but Sony kind of hold all the cards here. They could just say, no, close that firewall off, you ain't getting in. But they've come out of some slightly promising news this week as well, and said PlayStation, they've bigged themselves up first. Listen to this bollocks. PlayStation has been supporting cross-platform play between PC on several software titles, starting with Final Fantasy XI on PlayStation 2 and PC back in 2002. Woo! Aren't you the clever dicks? We would be happy to have conversations with any publisher or developers who are interested in cross-platform play. So they don't immediately dismiss it, and they don't confirm yet that's going to happen. But Logan, do you think this is going to happen? Is this open? This has given us a glimmer of hope, I think.
Right, I've said this before. So when you sign up to PS Plus or when you sign up to Xbox Live, that is literally just a membership for you to pass their test, if you like, and go, right, well, you can play on our servers.
You've got to be a certain IQ, is that what you...
Nah. And then...
how have you gone?
There is literally no reason why it can't happen. No reason at all, other than the fact that they don't want it to. So,
yeah.
But let me make, and this is a point I think I said to Paper, when they say we'll allow you to play with other people on other means. Like, for example, someone playing Rocket League when I'm playing on the PS4, I can't party up with them.
No, absolutely not.
So this is something I need to understand or make a point on, is that it might matchmake with others in the game playing on different platforms and consoles, but they won't allow me to go, oh, Hall's got Rocket League on Xbox One, I've got it on PS4, let's get in a party.
Yeah.
It ain't going to work like that. So it will literally just be matchmaking with other people. And in a way, I think that's good, especially on probably some of the older titles where if you're playing online and stuff, there's less people there. There'll be a bigger pool of players for you to matchmake to. But ultimately, I think, it'll be good. But it makes very little difference because I'm playing against Joe Bloggs on an Xbox, or I could just be playing against Joe Bloggs on a PS4. There's no difference there. And that's what I mean. There's no reason why they can't open it up because I don't actually think it really has that much impact.
No. Oh,
that's really my opinion.
You sound like you're in the same boat here, Hall. That they could open it up, but without buddying up, which will never happen. Is my prediction.
I don't give a shit.
No?
I don't
Shut down.
give a fuck. I don't want to play against people on PlayStation.
Because you're going to get fucking whooped, boy. PlayStation rule.
Unless it's my friends and I can play in a party with them. Like, that's the only reason that people want it. No one gives a fuck otherwise.
Well, Mr. Dave Salmon, who's got Street Fighter 5, reckons, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, reckons you can search for other players on other on PlayStation. He's got it on PC. So, because basically that game has you can have like a universal fight name or whatever. So you can do it via that rather than using PlayStation.
See, once again, if that's the case, then fair enough.
Down to the devs.
If I can go into, let's use a Call of Duty for an example. If I can go into a Call of Duty and make a private lobby and have people in there, because they've searched for my game and they found it because I'm hosting it on some server. Yeah. Then if I can't talk to people, if I can just play, I know that I'm playing with them and be in the same
just set Skype
lobby
up
as
in
them.
The background, and you got this.
No problems. But I can't until that is a guarantee. It's all speculation. Plus the fact that although Xbox and PlayStation are both going, well, we're open to the idea. No one is going to be the first one to buckle and go, yep, we're happy to do it. Because if Xbox go, we'd really like to team up with PlayStation and get cross-platform, and then PlayStation go, fuck you, cunts, then Xbox are going to look like total dickheads. So neither one of them is going to be the first one to do it. It's not going to happen for a while.
PlayStation definitely won't do it because they're pissing it, so they've got no reason to.
Exactly. Why would PlayStation? Xbox are going, well, can't we just share some of it? And it's because Microsoft are investing so heavily in Windows 10 as well. So they need to get as much as they can. And the thing is, they're seeping like Xbox Live Gamer tags into Windows 10 and whatever else.
Yeah, well, mine goes every time I get an achievement. It's all locked in now. I can't get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucks you right over. My dream for this to happen would be it's all cross-platform. You could play against each other, and they could set up like PlayStation versus Xbox tournaments. So you all play on your respective consoles, like an esports tournament. I'm going to exclude PC because they'll just piss it if it's a first-person shoot with mouse and keyboard. So sorry, Master Race, but there's no point you getting involved. You'll wipe the floor with these snot bags. But imagine that.
Give him a controller.
Yeah, well, they'll just say, well, no.
Well, pointless, isn't it? Yeah, you might as well be playing an Xbox or a PlayStation, might you?
Literally, no need for that. But I think that'd be amazing, like an esports tournament, like once a year, where it's PlayStation v Xbox, all the best players from each console, like they get a team together, they sponsor them. Loads of people would watch that.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
But once again,
would they sign up for it? Because if you lose
exactly.
And Xbox lose for the third consecutive, shut the port off. They're not doing
they've literally dicked all over them. Xbox have backed out of the agreement. They're no longer offering cross-platform.
Yeah.
It's like, I
think you'd end up in a position where, like on the PC one, where you get like a list of servers, and you'd probably have to put in the server address to get on it, and bits like that, and all these casual
console owners aren't clever enough for that.
What?
Yeah. Oh. We don't understand that.
Number.
I don't understand IP addresses or server numbers or anything, Get me out of there. Just let me push a button.
Yeah.
Matchmake, please. That's the trouble. Is that how does it then work? Because the whole thing's been designed to not do that, and then you're basically backing it all out. So,
yeah. Well, Paper said a couple of weeks ago that when we was talking about the Windows 10, a lot of games being released on that platform, are Microsoft looking for an exit strategy? And is this part of it as well? Are they looking to bin the Xbox brand off in the console market? Could this be another?
Phil said he weren't.
Well, Phil wants to keep his job. He can't come out and say, "Yeah, get rid of this shit."
He
is Xbox. He's Xbox.
This company that I run, bin that.
It doesn't
sound like it. He made the whole blurb of we're releasing more games than we ever have and all this shit.
Wow.
I don't know, but there is a market there for Xbox, for Microsoft on the PC. I think they've obviously got a load of PC gamers.
Yeah, but no one wants to play on that shit app store. They want Steam. This is the problem. People don't want to be dealing with that junk.
The thing is, Microsoft are halfway in between. They haven't really got their own solution yet.
No.
There's Steam there, and then you've got, for example, on Apple, you've got the App Store, and you've got they haven't got their solution to that. I don't think, and I don't think they'll ever need one, or they'll never find one, because people will just use Steam. Steam have got that locked down, I think.
Well, when you get things like Gears of War Ultimate Edition and Quantum Break, and perhaps Gears of War 4 coming to PC, you're only going to have to buy them on the Windows App Store. That'll be their way of doing it.
They need to sort out that App Store because it's fucking diabolical. Have you been on it?
No, no need.
Honestly, go on there for 5 minutes and you'll go, right, I can
If it's
see
as bad as the dashboard, the Xbox One, I know what I'm in for, so I ain't going to be dealing with it. That's what I'm saying. That's the way they can get a foothold in that market, is to make sure their exclusive games are only on there. You think about it, if they give that over to Steam to sell, Steam take a good 10-15% out of their pocket. Well, there's no need for them to do it, is there? So keep it on the Windows platform. It'll fuck people off, but if they want to play the game, they'll go and buy it because they'll have no choice.
Paper stung.
Well, perhaps, but yeah, it's could cross console multiplayer finally happen? It could. It's certainly a little bit more positive than say 6 months ago when I think we discussed this. But it's not. I think I do agree with you guys. If it doesn't give you the options of buddying up, then it is just you won't know you're playing against another person. It won't matter. It's almost pointless because you're just playing against a load of faceless people like you would be anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
In that thing. But I'm definitely up for an esports, PlayStation v Xbox. Please make that happen. Xbox One again, still on them. Hall, this is your time to shine. Elite controller purchased.
Yep.
So you've gone out and purchased the... It's not been out too long, is it? What, 6 months, if that? Don't know how long it's been out. But
something like that.
You've gone out and purchased the Elite controller. First of all, let's get the details. How much?
£125. Stunned silence.
Two just stunned, but okay.
Yeah, it weren't cheap.
Where from?
I will admit that.
Retailer we want to plug? Can they sponsor us?
I bought it from Game.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I went to that game store again in Southend, the smaller one. That same manager was in there. What I was doing now, I was trading in 2 games and pre-ordering No Man's Sky. And again, 15 minutes he was there chatting with me. I'm going to go in there just every Saturday to talk to someone, I think.
Yeah, gaming chat.
Don't go to the big one though, because they're not as nice in there. Small one.
Is that the one up by the Victoria end?
Yeah, that one. Go to that one. But yeah. So Hall, you've gone strolling into game, bought your controller. What tempted you to do this? Because like I said, it's been out a little while now. It's just the sort of thing that I can imagine you going, oh, I'll have it day one.
I've been waiting for it to come into stock.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's been impossible to get hold of. I was going to order one online, and then I was umming and ahhing about it for a while, and then I thought, no, I won't. I'll wait until it comes in stock. And then I happened to be floating around, and I thought I'd check, and they had one, and I was like, yeah, go on then, fuck it.
Walked in there and got it.
So, yeah.
Click and collect, or just strolled in and took the risk in case someone else stole it.
No, I just rolled in, mate, and went, yep, I'll have it.
I'll have that, please.
Didn't pre-order, didn't order it or anything.
No. So let's give us a rundown of what this will give players. You know, is it any good? How customizable is it? Is it worth that price tag? These are the sort of questions people are now wanting.
Right.
Their money is in your hands, so just remember that when you go through this.
Yeah.
It's responsibilities.
what I will say is that
You sound happy.
I am pleased with it. I am very pleased with it. When I first got it, I'm gonna put an unboxing video on the channel because it's beautifully packaged. They've taken a leaf out of Apple's book about making the box fit perfectly and stuff, and little things like that do help. So you get the Xbox controller itself, which is exactly the same shape as the Xbox One controller, the basic controller, but the sticks are changeable. The D-pad is changeable. The triggers are metal rather than, but they're like a chrome rather than being the plastic that you get on the standard controller.
They still have the feedback run through the triggers.
Yeah, and then you have a little switch on the back which allows you to change the triggers to being either fully depressible or just only down to like a halfway stage. And you have the space for 4 paddles on the back which you can assign to other buttons.
Right.
So that's kind of the pack in a nutshell.
Yeah.
The sticks and the D-pad are magnetic, so you can like take off your sticks and put different sticks on. You get 3 sets of sticks. Yeah. The base ones, medium height ones, and tall ones, and then you get 2 different types of D-pad. You can either get like a convex one that you can see on the box art, or you can get just like a standard D-pad one.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like I say, the paddles on the back are detachable, whatever.
There's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, and then as well as that, you get there's a cable, so you can use it as a wired controller as well, which is like a proper. It's a much better quality wire than the one that you get from the Play and Charge kit. Like, you're not going to break it by standing on it. It's a proper, it's wrapped in a fabric, so it can't. It's a stronger quality, and then you get a carry case for the whole lot as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So that's kind of it in a nutshell, is what you get in it. Yeah. But you also, when you first use it, they're something that you probably don't realise if you've got an Xbox One, because I certainly didn't, is that not long ago there was an update that came down called Xbox Accessories, which was automatically downloaded onto your console. Right. And then from there you can plug in you assign your controller. So the 4 paddles on the back you can assign to any other buttons. So currently I have 2 paddles on mine at the minute, which I have assigned to clicking in the sticks. Yeah. So now to sprint, I've got a paddle on the back left, and to knife, I've got a paddle on the back right for an FPS, for example.
It's pretty good.
Which is handy. You can calibrate how much or how firm you want your triggers, so how much feedback you want them to give you. Yeah. And you can also put in because I have a problem when I play FPSs of being quite twitchy on the old left trigger, so I aim down the sights a lot by accident. So I've programmed it to have about 5% of it, which is just dead trigger.
Dead zone, yeah.
Yeah, so I've got that plugged in as well. And then your sticks, you can program them to be like super sensitive, to have an aggressive style, to have a neutral style, to have a slow rolling style or whatever. There's more customization than you'd know what to do with. Yeah. And you can save different configurations of buttons and bits and pieces, and then each time you play a game, it will remember that configuration of buttons. So if you like to play 1 FPS with one style and 1 FPS with another style, you can just flick over a switch and it'll automatically change between the two.
Wow. So there's a lot.
There is a lot to it. There is a lot to it. But that said, it's 125 quid. You'd want there to be a lot to it.
Yeah. That is very true. So can you buy additional bits? Could you buy additional D-pad and stick bits if you wanted? Do they have I know there's going to be third-party stuff out there, but do you know if there's any an official line of? No, not
officially. There's nothing. There's, or not that I know of anyway. I haven't looked into it thoroughly. But the thing is, I think Xbox. Well, I mean, one of the things that stunned me. Yeah. You know, when you buy stuff from Game, they give you you can get the 2-year guarantee on it from Game, where if something happens, if you get a scratch on your disc or whatever, you can take it back and they'll replace it. So as I was buying it, the bloke started offering me, "Do you want the 2 years cover, for your controller?" And his manager said, "No, you can't get it. You can't get it on the controller." Xbox have said not to offer any kind of guarantees because they're so confident in their controller and it not breaking within the first X amount of time that you have it, or it not breaking full stop, that they won't let people give out guarantees or warranties because they won't take stuff back from store.
Right. That sounds like to me that they're scared.
Well, I mean, it's either supreme confidence or an absolute panic, isn't it? Because that is like a big risk to take.
Yeah.
They are saying that this controller will not break.
Yeah.
Like mechanically will not break.
Well, that would be. Well,
give it to Hall, get him rolled up, and.
Well, I mean, if anyone's gonna fucking break one,
it'll be you.
It's this guy. So I'll keep you posted. Let you know how long it takes.
Yeah. So do you feel it's a bit too much? Do you have to do too much pissing around before each game? Because I remember when you first get it, you was like, "Fuck me!" You spent like 2 hours before you'd even plugged the game.
Yeah, I spent about 2 hours calibrating it the first time, but that's because I was doing a proper faffing about and experimenting and seeing what everything wanted. And you know, like initially, I set my sticks to be on the aggressive style. And then I found out that was actually a bit too much, and I was faffing around trying to get them just right. Now they are right though. It is beautiful to play with. It's so much more comfortable. It's got proper grips on it. You know, it's a little bit heavier than the standard controller purely because of all the metal and all the magnetic bits and pieces to it. But you don't notice it after a while. And even now, when I go back to my standard Xbox One controller, I'm just like, I don't want to play with it anymore. I will only use the Elite one from now on. I've become a proper snob about it.
A real absolute snob. Who would you recommend this sort of control to? Because I don't think. I'm not going to get the most out of it. I would hasten to add that Logan's not going to be interested.
If you play
Xbox,
like I say, I consider myself to probably play considerably more than the average gamer. You know, I generally would probably average, I don't know, maybe an hour to an hour and a half a day.
Yeah.
You know, 7 days a week, I'd say. So I'm using it quite a lot. It's not something to be bought lightly, obviously, and a lot of people are going to go, oh, the triggers and your stick functionality, that's all bollocks, it's unnecessary. Yeah, it is, but fuck it, I don't care. I got the money, fuck it. I like it.
So if you play your Xbox 7 times a day and you've got the money, go out and get it. If you don't buy it and don't moan about it. Happy with that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's fair. You know, people are always going to make comments, you know, but then it's like when you were younger and you used to have I certainly had it on the N64 and the GameCube. I had 3 official controllers and 1 gammy game controller because it was cheaper, and it'd be like whoever got stuck with the Mad Cats, it was like, go, you got the shit controller. And it's exactly the same thing, just going at the other end of the spectrum where you've got 1 supreme controller and a couple of shitters. So
do you consider that old control shit now then, in a way?
Oh yeah, I won't use it.
Well, killed it off.
Well, I've got 4 now, which is another reason I wanted to get one.
Yeah, interesting. Good. So that's the Xbox Elite controller Hall-like review, and I assume, well, potentially you could be using this Elite control to play the upcoming Gears of War 4 beta. So April the 18th for the Ultimate Edition owners, the beta will drop multiplayer, and 25th of April for all other Gold members. So everyone's going to have a go at this if you've got Xbox Live or Xbox Gold membership. It ends May the 1st, so you get a little bit of time on there. So this is now looking good as a 2016 release. So Hall's fantasy pick, you know, looking it's going to come in. That's pretty much in the bank unless something goes disastrously wrong. Logan, you've been sitting there silently, probably sitting there on Football Manager. You love to get stuck into a beta and poke your nose in. I assume this is going to be a no-brainer for you to drop in on the 18th once your Ultimate Edition code arrives.
I reckon I'll be all over this.
Yeah?
I fucking love Gears.
Do you, though?
Yeah, I am pretty pumped for the new one. So, yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this game. I've got high hopes for it.
So you got high hopes. It's not made by the same dev team, which I've banged on about a lot of times. So it sounds like you are not scared at all. Hall, you're obviously not scared because it's one of your fantasy picks. But I guess the interesting question for you, Hall, is will you actually play this? Because you haven't taken part in too many betas in the last few years, presumably because there's no achievements on offer. That's probably why. You ain't getting nothing out of this.
I won't play the beta, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
The thing is, right, there's... Everyone, this is where I'm backwards with gaming, though. If I play the beta and it's bad, it'll put me off and I won't buy the game.
Good.
Whereas currently, I'm like, well, I'm always buying that game. And I want to buy the game. I don't want to get put off by a shit beta.
Yeah.
So, I've only ever played, I think, one beta in the whole time that they've been around, and that was Gears of War Ultimate Edition. And the reason that I played that is because there hadn't been a Gears of War game in so long. I was so desperate to play one on the Xbox One that I thought, fuck it, I'll play it for a bit.
Yeah.
It's just, Gears is pretty standard online. The multiplayer is pretty much is what it is.
Are you not intrigued, considering it's a new dev team, and they're even outsourcing parts of the multiplayer to a secondary team to do this?
Nah.
It's going to be new, you know.
Yeah, what if they fuck it, though?
Well, then you'll know, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but then I'll be gutted when I play it.
Yeah, well,
I won't buy it.
You always got the campaign to fall back on. That's decent.
It always puts a downer on it, though, doesn't it? Don't need that. The beta gives me nothing. The beta is there for developers, as far as I'm concerned, where people who are on the fence can go out and make a decision about it.
If you're already committed to it.
Yeah, then I don't need to play the beta. All that'll do is tease me for it for a little while, and then the beta disappears, and I'm like, bloody hell! I'll wait for another 3 months for the fucking game to come out.
And they go, January 2017, a new launch date.
And I go, no.
Well, I guess
no, I've got no interest in playing. Well, I have got an interest in playing it, but I won't.
Are you going to have to resist it when you log on and see me and Logan in a party sitting there going, oh, fucking love it. Sure, that's going to. We'll see. Well, me and Logan, we're going to jump on. Well, I'll try and jump on it. To turn that Xbox on is hard sometimes, but I will. For the sake of Gears 4, I will. Even though I really didn't get on well with their multiplayer that much, unless it was Horde mode. But we'll see. That's an interesting development. I think that puts it in good stead for a 2016 release, which I've been doubting for most of the year. More news. Fable Legends cancelled, and Lionhead Studios to be shut down. So UK dev team.
Poor old Lionhead.
Yeah. Now first of all,
Chicken Chaser.
I am not surprised about the cancellation of Fable Legends. I don't know who wanted that. I don't know who asked for that. And the fact that it was free to play, I thought, what are you guys doing? That I could not see what that was. I mean, it was a great looking game for what was going to be a free to play, but I just thought I didn't hear anyone who was a fan of Fable asking for that 4v1. No, they want Fable 4. They don't want the shit Fable 3 memory staining it all like it did. So that's one thing to get off my chest. Secondly, it is a fucking shame about Lionhead. It's never good to see any developer go under, especially ones that have made actually good games in the past. So, Fable
2 was excellent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Fable 2 was excellent. I never got to play Fable 1, which was a bit of a blowout. They done Fable Anniversary not long ago, but I didn't bother with that. But Fable 2, yeah, I remember getting that very early on my Xbox.
Phenomenally good game.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you go back and listen to what Peter Molyneux was saying the game could be and what it ended up being, you might have been disappointed because I weren't really plugged into all that. I accepted Fable 2 for what it was, and I love that game. Just the setting, the humour.
Brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game. Fable 3, I still think was a bit of a blowout.
It was a bit of a disappointment in comparison to Fable 2, but it was still okay.
Yeah. Did you say you didn't play it, Logan?
No, I said I didn't enjoy it that much, Fable 3.
I don't think many people did. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was because it's too similar, or I don't know. It just wasn't as well done. But in any case, that is a shame to see those guys go. I guess the question is, I would say, looking at their game, this Fable is undoubtedly their most famous franchise. I mean, looking back actually, the movies, they've done a real-time strategy game called The Movies that Piper actually introduced me from. You run your own movie studio. I've got the game. I've got it installed actually. Might go back and play that. But they've had Black and White was one of their other games. That was a bit of a
Black and White was a great game.
Yeah, so
forgotten about that.
That was like their first game, and they moved on to Fable, and that's dominated ever since. But what do you think out of those franchises? Black and White's not coming back. The movies ain't coming back. It's down to Fable. Do Microsoft keep the Fable franchise alive and let another dev team have a go at it? What do you reckon, Logan?
Nah, it's just fucking. It's dead. Like
what?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
What? Well, you don't want it, or you saying they'll just spin it?
I don't know where they'll go from it. I wonder if Fable was a game of its time. We've done it. We'll move on now. We've got to stop wanting what we previously had.
That's all you talk about is Call of Duty 4.
Yeah, and I've gotten over it. It's never going to happen. You're right. I've not got over it, but I've accepted that it's not going to happen again. That was a one-off. They're never going to rekindle that.
Trick.
And you have to move on and try different things, new things. So So yeah, I think right, okay, Lionhead did it, they tried it, they got it done. Let's leave it. Move on. New stuff. VR.
Well, I hope not. Fable VR. Hall, do you think they're going to keep this around? Or would you want it around, in fact? Bearing in mind that the technology has moved on, maybe the promises that were made in Fable 1, 2 and 3 could potentially come closer to truth because they've got a bit more grunt behind them. A fresh set of eyes on it, a new development team, you know. How about it?
Difficult one to judge on it.
We're all bloody shitting our pants about Gears 4. Why is Fable not getting a full shot? And Logan's going, I'm excited for it.
Fable had one good game.
Well, one was alright.
Yeah, it was alright, but 1 and 3 were alright. They weren't amazing, but 2 was really good. But yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? When you've killed off the studio that's created something, it then be difficult for Microsoft to go, because it just kind of says we have faith in the brand, in the franchise, but we didn't have faith in the people creating it, and it's it's a tough one, because who takes it on then as well, you know? After seeing, well, shit, this company that Microsoft just had making that game, Microsoft said not good enough, fucked them off. It's like,
I think it's pretty clear that they went, right, this ain't working out. We've tried.
Whose idea was Legends? They are to blame for this. Whoever came up with that idea, I'm placing the blame on that. Because no one was even interested. There definitely was people interested, but I weren't. So that means everyone wasn't.
What do you mean no one was interested? No, I wasn't interested.
No, I don't think many people were.
After Fable 3, I thought, right, a trilogy, we're done here. I don't need any more chicken chasing. It's done.
Kick 'em,
Move
though.
on. Yeah, but that's what... I just think it's one of them games at its time and it's been done. Like Shenmue. It's been done. Why do we need another one? Who's wanting that? Just leave it.
The people that contributed £7.5 million to Shenmue.
Yeah, they want Shenmue 3.
That's the fucking mugs that want that.
Yeah, well, we've got left. To be fair, it was never finished, that trilogy. So there was a reason why that is. Well, I'm disappointed that you boys you don't want Fable.
I think I remember at the end of the last Fable when I played it, I think I changed into a woman and I was like, right, why have I done that? Do you remember that? Do you remember you had an option at the end of it?
Well, that must have been at the end of Fable 3. At the end of Fable 2, you had the choice of saving the masses, taking the money for yourself, or saving the dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll have that save that dog.
Yeah, I'm not letting that.
You two are poor. I went, give me that cash.
Nothing to do with it.
I was like, give me that Wonga.
Yeah. Well, it's done now. Probably not going to see him again. Now, especially that you two are shutting it down already. No more Fable for anyone, you fucking bastards. Let's cap things off with The Division. It's been spoken about a lot in all outlets. The Division topples Destiny's fastest selling new IP crown over 5 days. I sometimes wonder if they make those awards up themselves. They're very, very specific. But no doubt that Ubisoft's The Division is especially impressive. Considering also, if you take into the account that Destiny was on 360 and PS3 as well. So they had a little tiny bit of a bigger market there. But you could say the PC guys on the Division are adding to that as well. I am quite surprised about this because I was not expecting this to be this big of a success. I don't know why. I just didn't feel that after people played the beta that many people were saying this, you have to play this. And not only that, week 1 there was no reviews about for at least 3 days. No reviews whatsoever. So no one had really anything to go on. If you didn't get to play the beta, you were taking a gamble. Surprising, but I've been impressed. I've bought it. Got that deal, didn't I? Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is completed review coming soon in some format, so look out for that. But Rise of the Tomb Raider, I traded that in at Smith's in Rayleigh and bought The Division for £10. So effectively I paid £35 for Rise of the Tomb Raider and The Division, so there's a little bit of business for you. I don't know what Smiths were thinking. They've made zero off that. They're not shifting Tomb Raider for anywhere near the amount the Division's going for. But anyway, I digress. I've done about 8 hours. I'm reasonably impressed. The combat is solid. Social play is fun. Missions seem to require some level of coordination and teamwork, especially on hard, if you dare do that. And one thing that has surprised me is that I've not been totally bored when I've been left on my own. Now, I wouldn't say go out and play this game just as single player only, but it's still enjoyable to me to explore the open world and carry out a few encounters and then go just sorting all my shit out, all my gear. Before I get on to Logan and get his quick thoughts before we close this down, Hall, you mentioned off air he was actually sniffing around this. He's sniffing.
Yeah.
How's that happened?
Well, I'm the same as you. I didn't really expect it. I think.
Can I just say the only reason I got this is because that deal was on. If I was not going to get this for a tenner by trading one game, I never would have even bothered. But it was there, and I thought it's stupid not to. But I'm glad I did.
Like a lot of people from what I've been reading are comparing it to Destiny. And the thing was, there was so much hype surrounding Destiny when it came out, and there's been relatively little for the Division. Like it kind of just snuck up on us. Like none of us picked it in the draft.
No.
And it kind of just snuck up.
We represent video games, so if we didn't pick it, no one was listening, no one was watching for that.
No, but I mean, it just kind of snuck up out of nowhere and came out. You know, we knew it was there, but everyone kind of said, well, it looks all right, and it's gone absolutely crazy. A lot of people seem to be really enjoying it. It's got that replayability, so yeah, I mean, I've looked at it, and from what I've heard, like I say, it's nothing but good things, and if it is anything like the crack that was Destiny, then yeah, I'll get involved, I think.
Give me some more crack, you're thinking, aren't you?
Yeah, get me back on that fucking train.
Lone, you've played 4 hours, that's not a great deal, and I think we're going to do a bigger segment on this next week when me, you and Adkins have had a good bash at this. What's your initial thoughts so far? You seemed like you enjoyed it when we got together and played it.
Yeah, it's fucking exhausted me though. It is similar to Destiny, but only in the fact that you're going around in a party, shooting people together, and the enemies are levelled. Yeah. For me, at the moment, that is the only similarity. You don't pick a class. I don't want to go into too much detail because it's a bit irrelevant. But basically, there are similarities. But I don't think. I think it's a better all-round game. Now that's a big criticism because we haven't even got into the Dark Zone yet, which will be
fucking hell, yeah,
a tester. But I've got a feeling that from my initial play, there's a bit more to it, and the enemies or the AI is a bit better. And I think there's more to it. My big doubt from it, which I said to you at the time, was I'm not really sure how this is going to work. Ploughing a human full of fucking
lead
assault rifle bullets, yeah. But in a way, it's kind of I haven't even thought about that when I'm playing it. I haven't gone, hang on a minute, has he taken that Granada?
Yeah.
But so that was my lingering doubt about the game. And I think I laid my cards out to you. I think we emailed and I said I've got about a 5% interest in playing this by myself. Yeah. And then as you started sniffing around it, I was like, right, well, that's a party of 3.
Yeah.
And that is where I need to be with it because my initial thoughts on it are you need to play the story at least with other people, at least one other person.
Yeah, not only because they're fucking rock hard as well, some of them.
Yeah.
They are tricky with 2 of you.
Yeah, it is. I think it is... I think it is still tricky. As I say, the AI tries to get round you and it tries to uncover you, and you think you got your cover, but it tries to get round you. So it's not just you sitting behind a rock and then getting your head up. You actually have to think about. You go right, one over there, one over here, one in the middle, and we'll try and take them. So yeah, I think there's a bit of thought in it. It feels solid. Yeah. I haven't experienced any delay like that, and I am impressed with it. It seems like a good solid game. So.
Thumbs up for now, then.
Yeah, first full price purchase in 4 months.
Yeah, that is good. That is a stinger for you. But we'll I'll try. I think maybe next week we'll be in a better position to break it down in a little bit more detail, so you guys can get an idea, understanding what is going on. But if you want to find out a little bit more information about the Division, if you head over to dimpdigital.com, there is a launch day review gone up by Dave One Up. Destiny Dave, as he's also known as. So He's gone into so much detail about his first day's experience. It really is a great read. It's long, but it's well worth it if you want to get a little bit more information. We'll be back next week to talk about that in a bit more detail. Perhaps me, Logan, and Adkins will get together and just discuss our experience and what we like and don't like. But I think we're going to close this particular week's podcast down. As always, if you guys want to get in contact with us, it is at Dimp Digital on the Twitter. Facebook.com/Dimp Digital is our Facebook page, and dimpdigitalmedia@gmail.com is the email address. If you're listening, as always, subscribe to the podcast. If you're on an Android device, use Player FM, great podcast app that will connect you with us and other podcasts out there in the world. So you might even find something else you like if you're listening to us. Dimpdigital.com, as I mentioned, that's a one-stop shop for everything we do. YouTube.com/DimpDigital for the YouTube channel if you want to sit there and listen to a podcast that's got a video running, but we don't actually have any video. It's just a blank template. So I don't know what you're doing if you're doing that.
Tells you the agenda.
It doesn't anymore. I took that off. That got
did you?
Yeah, I've taken that off. It just says the number now. I ain't dealing with that. It's just more botherance I didn't need on a Sunday when I've done it late. I'm not interested. Automate it all, please. Someone help me. So yeah, it'll just tell them the number. Anyway, that's it for now, though. Game over. It's goodbye from Logan.
See you later. Thanks for joining.
It's goodbye from Hall.
Ta-da.
And it's goodbye from me, Apps. Thanks for your time. And ta-da. Hold on. Mario, did he ever say anything Italian?
It's me,
Mario.
Never heard him. Never heard it. He claims he's Italian. He never said anything in Italian, as far as I know. And I'm not.
If you're saying it's Italian.
Racist, really, isn't it?
Mario, and Luigi Mario. His brother's called Luigi, for fuck's sakes. Don't get any more Italian.
Yeah, but if you don't speak the lingo, how do we know he's definitely? There's people that call their bloody sons Quaid and shit. That's not a proper name, is it?
It's really picked up Quaid out of nowhere.
Our one and only fan ends up being called Quaid. He's sitting there going, fucking hell, and rips apart here.
Just saying, I don't believe Mario is Italian.